Welcome back. Let's continue to this now. The EFF will address a media conference at midday today to possibly reflect on the last weekend's manifesto launch. SABC News reporter Natasha Phiri joins us now. Thank you so much for your time, Natasha, and good afternoon to you. Well, I could imagine with that disclaimer that you don't want to miss this press briefing. The SONA will probably be part of the agenda. What are your thoughts?
Well, definitely, Unathi, that. And of course, you would remember that the EFF has come out of a busy weekend as they actually held their manifesto launch in Durban on Saturday. And following that, the following day, they then commenced with the EFF list conference, which then finished on Monday. But the theme for this year's elections, or for the theme for the EFF's manifesto launch, was unveiled as Our Land and Jobs Now, Stop Load Shedding. And we heard the party leader, Mr. Julius Malema, just outline a number of commitments that he made to the people of South Africa, that should the EFF actually win the elections and should the EFF government be ushered in, they would stop load shedding within 6 months. He says that the party has already assembled a team of engineers who have been integrated into Eskom. And if they do come into government, of course, load shedding will be a thing of the past. They also mentioned the electricity grants that will be granted to various municipalities, and moving to social grants. I think this is what was very interesting, the doubling of social grants, saying that, the elderly would get 4,180, veterans would get 4,220, child grants would be increased to 1,200 per month. Also, he mentioned that there would be an introduction of a graduate fund and the sovereign fund as well. He also mentioned that in terms of the NPA, they would want the constitution to be amended so that the NPA would be one of the, Chapter 9 institutions. So these are some of the commitments that he actually made to the people of South Africa should the EFF actually take over, post the 2024 elections. Quite interesting. You look at the growth of the party over the years. In 2014, they managed to bag just over 6% of the vote. You look at 2019, just over 10% of the vote. And of course, they're gunning for a higher number. And of course, when they held, the election manifesto in KZN, that's a highly contested province. And, we heard Mr. Malema giving marching orders there to the EFF's provincial chairperson to actually win the province over. This is a province which is which has a second highest voting population at over 5 million. That and Gauteng is highly contested. So the EFF leader also giving marching orders to EFF members to actually work hard and ensure that they actually get their votes come, the election date, whenever that will be announced. So these are just some of the reflections that Mr. Malema is expected to actually brief members of the media about. Of course, we will also be quizzing him on parts of his manifesto as well. And I implore our viewers to actually stay tuned to SABC News at 12 p.m. I beg your pardon, 12 noon, when that press conference starts.
I suppose we'll have to wait and see there, Natasha. Thank you so much for that. Of course, the EFF is the first of the three political parties to be launching their manifestos. And so, as Natasha said, that will be unpacked probably today as well. But we will keep you up to speed here on the program as well as the station in terms of what transpired in that meeting.